how far should religion go? Because in this culture now, in the manner of culture, how far should we bring, where should we stop religion when it comes to culture and even probably governance? Should our conviction as a Muslim or a Christian affect our role in culture or affect our role in governance? Because we see it play out in almost everything we do. Any meeting you want to do, you start with a prayer. But half of them, they're there to share money or to go against. So should we continue to do that, or should we just face the reality of who we are as a people?
I think, when we look at it like traditionally in our local communities, we want to paint Nigeria with a brush of all Muslims or all Christians. But the further you go into smaller communities, they have a long tradition or long practice of their religion. And what most of them will try to do is maybe because of education and, leaving your community, you try to work it, side by side. You find people that when they leave their communities, maybe going to the city, they will be Christians or they'll be Muslims, but when they go back, they still practice, what they are known for, their traditional rites for anything, marriages. Some people will do whatever white wedding you want them to do here, but when they go back to their village, there's some traditional rites. So for me, I think the question would be, if you were to be made a traditional ruler and you are aware of the traditional rites. I know usually with monarchies like this, it's a family tradition. So one person dies, the other person automatically sits on that seat. Why don't you just take yourself out of it? Because this is the expectations of your people. And it's also, if you decide to put yourself in there with your Christianity or your Islam, then be ready to face the backlash.
We know we're talking about the Shaun of Ogbomoso, the one of the few candidates being considered. One is a pastor of the RCCG, and I know him very well. Pastor Gandhi is a proper pastor. Not that they go come. Now, if Pastor Gandhi indeed becomes the Shaun of Ogbomoso,
how will they do the traditional rites?
How would he? I mean, this is the friction we're saying. This is the conflict. Can we merge it? If we're merging it, could it affect the people? Because the people are saying, this is who we are. But so how do we merge it?
So historically, people have evolved over time, consistently. Some died for this evolution to take place. Some people will say, I feel so strongly in my spirit that as a Christian, I want to change this community, and it might mean that you die, but you're willing, you believe so much in that, your faith and your belief, that you will sacrifice yourself. Some other Christians who feel like, my faith does not tally with this, I'm not going to do it, I will step out. There's no right or wrong answer on how you go about it. But understand that if you're going to be fighting a belief system, you are going to fight a very tough battle. People would die on that journey of saying, this is what I believed all my life. There are battles you should not fight, personally. I will not impose my belief on anybody. I would feel that I would exemplify my faith in such a way that it would inspire you to come into my faith. I don't believe in imposition of faith. I don't believe in imposition of beliefs. I don't believe you need to fight people for what they believe in. I believe that you need to be an influencer, a role model. That's the right way. So now this is your pastor. This is your pastor. So this is your pastor now that is in the line for becoming, culturally in the line to become the Shaun of Ogbomoso. In my own opinion, it's not something that you would even consider. The moment they say, oh, I'm in the line, tell them, I'm a Christian. If you put me in the line, I am going to carry out my ruling as a Christian. If you are not okay with it, back out. The current Olu of Warri went into that position. It was a battle, but he went as a Christian. And it was not anything anybody did not know. The entire process of him becoming
Christians already. You're missing the point.
The entire process of him becoming the Oba or the Olu of Warri was not that wasn't the usual system.
The
way he became the Olu of Warri was not the system they used to do before. Everybody that had new knowledge of history said that he changed the way it was done. He worshipped God in the Christian way, not in the Ishekiri way. And that was his own system that had been announced to them before. Now, the people of Warri cannot come and say he should not worship God again, because they knew who he was before. So these village boys, the community people in this village, they knew who this man was. He didn't say he was not a Christian. When he was becoming the Oba, all of them probably knew this man was a Christian.
Right.
Why did they suddenly want, after choosing a Christian, that he would suddenly become a
belief
traditional
point taken. Let me
ruler?
come to
There's a
me,
saying
my
in Yoruba land, Orisha bi o le gbe mi, se mi bo se ba mi. Now, he brought a faith that they believe is not working for them. Maybe at the time they allowed him, they thought it would work. Now, we've all established here that if they don't believe in that faith, it might not work for them. But they thought, let him come and see if there will be a difference. This time is going to be short because that difference did not happen. I wanted to establish that most times when we look at our royal fathers, we now see them as ceremonial. In those days, they were administrations with their own policies and their own methods and their own ways. And they came in and things would change. Per Obas, you will see each Oba with their differences. They'll say in the times of Oba Dynasty the first or Oba Dynasty the second, I'm talking of my forefathers from my mother's side now, how things were done. Not everything was copied because you were supposed to come in with your own level of thinking that you want to change and your own faith.